could redesign our society rather than trying to put a band-aid on a system that doesn't work or make our government do something about it. We should all come together and do something about it ourselves. So I have a very complex plan because society is not simple. We have a lot of work that we can do. However, everything in my plan involves using existing technology to build new systems or redesign for our new society. So I consider 15 different systems in designing this plan. The systems of living, which are food, clothing, and shelter. The systems, The systems of support, which are energy, the production of goods, our communication systems, and the collecting of resources. Our systems of growth, which are education, transportation, technology and science, and labor coordination, and our systems of maintenance, which is our medical systems, our legal systems, and recycling and waste management. So those are the 15 different systems that I consider, and society really is a collection of many systems that work together. There's no simple solution here.
I'm sorry, I think the feed cut.
Are you ready? I'm also being filmed by a friend from my own website. In any case, building such and redesigning a new societal collection of systems will take some work. However, I believe if we all came together as a team, we could get this done in maybe 2 years, 2 or 3 years. So the phases, there's implementation phases. Obviously, we can't just boom, all get together and build a new building. We got to have some blueprints first. So first, there's the overall conceptual design, which is available on this website. It's not super detailed. I don't have the technical knowledge to make it as detailed as I'd like. However, I do know that everything I talk about is existing technology. It already exists. Stage 2 would be getting together a team of specialists who do have technical knowledge to put together such a design and develop one blueprint for each system, and then share that with everybody in every city, everywhere that wants to implement it. Stage 3 would be the recruiting phase. From doing the technical designs, we would understand the resources needed and the labor needed in order to make something like this a reality. So then stage 3 would be recruiting the necessary labor, not only to build the new systems, but to remain in their current positions that are necessary, such as food production, medical care, keeping communications and energy going while we build. So that would be stage 3, be recruiting the labor to build the new systems and the labor to maintain existing systems during the building phase. Stage 4, once we have those recruits in place, would be canvassing, getting the word out to every single household in America, or even the globe, and asking if they are willing to adopt this new system. We already have the system designed and the labor in place, so would you be willing to stand up at a certain date and say, you know what, we're done. We're done playing with the existing system. We're done using money. Let's just eliminate money and build this new system together and let everybody live freely. Stage 5 would be actually when we stand up and do that and say, no more monopoly, it's time to play a rector set. And stage 6 is the building. So after we've eliminated money, we don't have to worry about where the money's coming from to do this. We all just get together and work together as a team to actually put it in place. Stage 7 will be retirement. So let me talk to you real quick about each of these systems and just explain the existing technology that we can use to do these things. Number 1, food. In the structures, I've broken these down into 4 separate areas of structures. Living systems, which are our food, clothing, and education. Food, clothing, and shelter. Our support systems, which are energy, the production of goods, our communications, and collecting resources. Our growth systems, which are education, transportation, technology and science, and labor coordination. And our maintenance systems, which is our medical care systems, our legal systems, recycling, and waste management. Oops, sorry. Can everybody hear me okay out there? hopefully so. I'm also filming this, which will be on a YouTube channel eventually. So in any case, back to the number one thing, food. We currently have the knowledge and technology to build skyscraper farms, which can be fully automated through the planting, the tending, the harvesting, and even the processing of food. What I envision is having a skyscraper farm or a farming complex in each community so that we no longer have our food growing centralized. It's been decentralized and re-centralized to be near the people that need the food. We know about aeroponics, hydroponics, aquaponics, and even soil farming. We know the conditions under which plants grow. Building a skyscraper farming complex would basically eliminate the need to be planting in the right climate because we would control the climate inside the building. We could grow more crops than one crop a year. In Minneapolis, St. Paul, there's actually a project, I think it's called Project Hope, and they have built a 3-acre greenhouse in the middle of the city that's producing 1 million pounds of food a year. So if you Google 1 million pounds of food, you will find that project. That's just a little tiny piece of the technology and the knowledge that exists that we can use to design our system. So the second factor is clothing. Well, clothing is already for the most part automated. I don't think some guys sit around in a factory and built my shoes by hand. It was probably built by a robot somewhere. Humans have a factor in the design of clothing, but we've already greatly automated the production of clothing. As far as shelter goes, we currently have more than enough shelter, at least in the United States, for everybody. There are 18 million homes that are vacant right now, whether that's due to foreclosures or to people not being able to afford new homes, to afford to buy those homes. In addition to that, when we eliminate money, we can repurpose the existing buildings for such as banks, insurance companies, advertising firms, sales offices. So much unnecessary labor is wrapped up around the idea of money, which is just a symbol. It's just a symbol printed on paper. It's not something you can eat. It's not something you can build with. It's just a symbol. But we have all our labor wrapped up around this idea of managing money. Right now in America, there are 310 million people. Out of those 310 million, 127, almost 128 million of them work solar parks. Well, you know what the number one occupation is in America? The number one occupation is cashiers and clerks in stores. That is the labor that is only meant to take money. That's it. That's all they do is take money. The number two occupation is sales. All they do is sell things to take money. So really, we have a huge amount of labor and resources devoted just to managing money. I mean, it's ridiculous allocation of our resources. So if we eliminated money, we could repurpose the buildings, and there would be more than enough living spaces to go around for the foreseeable future. I'm talking like probably 2 generations. So those are the 3 basics of living. The basics of support are energy systems. Well, Nikola Tesla developed a device over 100 years ago that works on geothermal power. You can just plug it into the ground and get energy. So part of the Satoria Nation Project will be producing those type of energy devices that are all natural, they're off the grid, and they're independent, and getting them to everybody to supply every home and every facility, so we don't have to have a huge amount of labor wrapped up around the production of energy. The fifth thing is the production of goods. Again, like I said, almost everything is automated now. I mean, if you go into a store and you buy a TV or a cell phone or anything like that, it's produced by machines. Yes, it's designed by people, but the actual production is done by machines. So what I envision in this new society is a community factory complex, perhaps right next to the food production facility, where anybody in the community that wants something can have it produced, and it would be production on demand. So no more mass production, and by doing this, we also eliminate a lot of the waste of packaging that we currently have to throw away. So production on demand, the cost to use this community production facility would be, if you have a design that you want to build, you would contribute that design to the community as well. So anybody else that wants to use your product can also have it made. Where are the resources going to come from? The resources have to come from somewhere, right? Well, we already have a lot of resource collection facilities built. However, I do want to mention that I recently found out there's an automated mining device, so we can use that to harvest our metals and stone, rock, and stuff that we need. As far as timber goes, the majority of timber is used to produce paper, and we can use hemp instead of timber and stop cutting down our forests and let things grow again, because, you know, eventually we're going to need the oxygen supply that they produce. As far as oil goes, are we still live?
Sorry, it's still broadcasting.
Okay. As far as oil goes, we already have a great amount of reserves. I'm going to talk later on how we can actually use a different fuel for our automobiles and stuff like that. I've already talked about different sources of energy for our homes. So we really will be using oil mainly for the production of goods, and we have more than enough reserves for that, and the facilities to harvest oil are already built. I'm not an engineer, but I believe that those facilities can also be automated. Our communication system is important. In this society, I envision us having a knowledge tool, which would be a collection not only of all the current existing knowledge, but any new knowledge would also be fed into this knowledge pool and equally accessible by all. So that can be used for our production facilities, that can be used for education. I mean, we really have the knowledge to redo our education system. We know that not everybody learns the same, but in our current education system, if they don't learn the same as everybody else, we label them F and call them failures and don't allow them to advance. But what our current knowledge is that people learn differently, they learn at different paces, and they're interested in different things. So as far as education goes, I really envision a revolution in education. We have the technology, we can use survey technology to make a different educational system that actually would grow and feed back with the student to teach each student at their own pace in the way they learn best. My dream is to gather the best of the best and their knowledge into an educational curriculum, so you're not dependent on one teacher who may be a good teacher or one teacher who may not be a good teacher. Everybody can have access to the same information and learn at their own pace. That would be part of our communication system, but I've also transitioned into talking about our growth system. Transportation is a growth system. What can we do about transportation? There's a few things. There's existing technologies. We can convert our existing vehicles to run on water. In the United States today, there's 310 million people. There are 255 million registered vehicles. And the reason I say registered is because that's important. That tells us that those vehicles are running. They're not sitting in somebody's yard somewhere inactive. Almost one vehicle per person in the United States, including children who don't need vehicles. What I envision us being able to do about our transportation system is first converting them to run on water, which is an existing technology. It already exists. Secondly, building a network traffic grid that would incorporate 5 existing technologies. The computer controls that are already in cars, right? A computer console to put in each vehicle, RFID chips to network inside each vehicle and along the roadway, and a computer networking system to tie it all together, and GPS technology, mapping technology. So we already have those 5 pieces. It's just a matter of applying them in a different way. And can you imagine getting into your vehicle and typing in a destination, and it goes automatically to that destination? Sorry about that. So
the business.
Sorry, there's a big announcement going on.
Do you have copy of the journal?
So that would also be part of our
newspaper.
And in such a society, we can also automate transportation. transportation
I
and distribution
got a
is good.
bunch of them over at the office, you know, storage,
As far
but
as
someone was
technology
asking
and
me for it, and I was
science
like,
goes,
let me
biggest
see if
questions
there was
people
one here.
ask me when I'm explaining this
He's got it.
is, well, how are we going to keep people working and
I just
advancing? And my reply is that if we put this system in place
Table
and
there,
we
they do the
had
alternative money.
basically establish a system where everybody can live freely, you have the resources that you need to survive, your food, clothing, and shelter are there, freely available, production of goods is there, freely available. Do you think human creativity is just going to stop? I mean, I think we'll be more creative because we'll have more time to think about more things that we don't think about right now because we're all so busy in our drudgery of going to work in order to make money, in order to pay bills, in order to live, in order to go to work, in order to make money, in order to pay bills, in order to live. So I think if we freed ourselves from that endless cycle, that we could actually be more creative. And I don't think that scientific exploration would stop. Didn't have money to motivate us. I think it would actually expand because, like I said, with the knowledge pool, we would have that pool of resources to draw from, both to learn more and feed in more and coordinate and collaborate with each other more. So the last thing is labor coordination in our growth system. And again, using a communication system. If you wanted to build something or complete a project that
Jeff.
that needed more than just your labor,
Donations
the
being
idea would be
taken
to put
for
out
food
this communications
and other
portal
things.
and ask for volunteers to help build it. I envision a volunteer-based society where we all live freely and we help
one
each
item
other
like
do
food.
what we
I have
need
food.
to. And if the
Oh,
project
food donations?
if you
Take it
can't
right
get
over to the
volunteers
kitchen.
for your project, then
Okay,
maybe
where's that?
it doesn't deserve
Right
to be built
there
at this
where the
time.
table is.
It could always be built in the future. The final systems I'm going to talk about are our maintenance systems, our medical care, our legal care, and recycling and waste management. I'll talk about recycling and waste management first real
Either
quick.
the AFT or UFT, American Federation of Teachers,
are produced
United
with
Federation
excess
would all
energy
be in
that
the
ends up
union area
being
there.
trash.
and where is that?
With the new production on demand capabilities, we would be able to recycle products that are broken.
Oh, that's back by
into-
Tommy?
back into
Okay, I
the
will.
production facility.
After I drop off.
And I also envision a community resource center where if you don't want something but it still works, it's still usable, you take it there and it's sorted and cataloged, and anybody that needs that object can come in and get it. As far as waste management goes, we definitely need to do something about recycling our water waste and making it healthy rather than filling it full of chemicals that are harmful to our bodies. To do that as well. Again, I don't have all the answers. I'm not an expert in any of these fields. I'm a synthesist. I see all this stuff that can be done and try to put it together. Our medical care system can definitely use some upgrading. Right now, medicine is for profit. When medicine is for profit, that kind of gets in the way of actually curing people and helping people. There are many alternative modalities that exist that are more effective than our current allopathic medical system. In addition to that, we can automate surgeries. I mean, eye surgery is already automated, and I was looking it up on Wikipedia the other day. There are many other surgeries that are already computer assisted or automated. We have a lot of automated diagnostic tools. The main part that the technicians play, or the people playing and using these, is attaching the electrodes to the body or preparing the person's body to be scanned by these machines. So we can make a lot of strides in our medical system if we were not for profit. As far as the legal system goes, I think that maybe we should write a new Constitution of the United States or something along those lines. Currently in the United States there are over 1 million laws on the federal books alone. In the IRS code there are 2 million laws. Well, if you eliminate money, there's 2 million laws we don't have to worry about anymore. I think we need to simplify our legal systems, make a code of law that is simple and fair and that everybody can understand. We shouldn't have to go to school for 3 years or 6 years in order to deal with each other in a legal way. So I do think we need to revamp our legal system, make it very simple and easy to understand. My ideal society, I would say that everybody can do whatever they like. There's no more first-person crimes or whatever, as long as it's consensual and doesn't harm anybody without their consent, such as harming the environment, which is all of ours together. Finally, I think that's all I have to say. Check out Satoria Nation. I've got way more detail on there than I talked about. If you like the idea, please seed it. And if you really like the idea, sign up and help build it. Like I said, we need people that are building it. And then we need to get out there and spread the word to everybody and see if they're willing to adopt a new way and stand up and stop using the money system. And then we can build it. If we all came together and build it, there's more than enough labor in each city or each area to build their own facilities. We could do this thing in 2 years or less, and then we could retire and be free. Thank you very much.